What's up, ladies? Or what's up, peeps? I know it's been a minute, but I wanted to come to you guys with a little video. Just more of like us having like an open dialogue. I wanted to talk about, COVID, because a lot of you guys do not know, but I did recently, or not necessarily recently, but I did test positive for COVID, which is the reason why I have not been filming any YouTube videos, before New Year's, after Christmas, around that time. So I just wanted to come to you guys and, just have like a little bit of conversation about it. Okay, so first and foremost, on behalf of COVID, it is a booger to freaking have because you feel like a big old germ whenever you had it. So it took me a minute to actually build up the courage to film this video because you do have the fear of judgment. You have the fear of people thinking that you're just like a germ. You're a contagious germ, even if you feel, great and fine. But I did want to, let you guys know my experience with my symptoms because the way that the symptoms went for me, if it go like it for anybody else, it's so easy for you to, just rub it off as, either a common cold or allergies and not get tested and pass it along. I want to say that I got COVID on December 25th, so on Christmas Day. It most certainly was from a family member, which was highly disappointing for me because if anybody know me personally, I keep Lysol wipes, hand sanitizer, Lysol spray with me 24/7. When I go out in public, I have 2 masks on. I double mask it up. Sometimes whenever I go to the gym, I'll even wear a triple mask, be about to hyperventilate, pass out, but just to take those extra precautions because we breathe heavy when we're at the gym, right? So I take a lot of precautions whenever I'm out in public. So to end up getting COVID from a family member was a lot. That right there, because you let your guard down around your family. So I'm just like, dang, I take all these precautions whenever I'm in public, but the time that I least expect it, I get it, right? So it was a downer point for me in that case scenario because I've been going this whole time, since March. I was still working in office at the company I used to work for whenever COVID first hit, and it was, everybody was rushing to go home. They still had me in the office, and somebody ended up testing positive that was in the office with us as well. I'm like, all of these things have happened. Someone at my daughter's school, had tested positive in her class, and we did not ever get it. And I felt like I was doing whatever it was, in order to make sure that it was good. So Christmas with my family, it was disappointing. But anywho, so just me going through the timeline of what I experienced with COVID, just so that, if you were afraid to talk to anyone because of the fear of judgment, or maybe you don't even know and you don't know whether you should go and get COVID tested or not, this is just how it went for me so that you'll know or at least have an idea. I do want to give a disclaimer. I am not a freaking doctor. I'm not a physician. I'm not a primary care physician or anything like that. What I'm telling you guys is just based on my experience, and everything is my opinion. So please don't, take it like I'm telling you to do anything, because definitely everything is on you. But okay, so I ended up getting COVID on December 25th. It wasn't until that following Monday, December the 28th, that I started having symptoms. So it started on Monday night for me. I didn't know that it was COVID symptoms. I thought that, maybe it was my allergies. Maybe I was tired, overwhelmed or something. But it started out with me having really, really bad muscle aches as far as my legs. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever felt like restless leg syndrome. That's what it was for me. It was like restless leg syndrome time 10. So my legs were so achy. I was congested. I was congested at one nostril, and then my throat started feeling a little scratchy. So that right there, the myalgia, which is the muscle aches, was what kind of caught me off guard. And going into Tuesday morning, I was talking to my mom, and I told her, I was like, I think it's time for me to go get COVID tested. And she was like, wow, what's going on? And I was like, my legs, like last night I couldn't sleep. I was up until 4 in the morning because my legs were aching like so bad. And she was like, oh, well, we've all had restless leg syndrome before. And I was like, yeah, but my nose is clogged up and it's draining into my throat, and my throat feel a little scratchy, which I am one of the people that sleep with a fan on. Now, sometimes I have the fan directly in my face, sometimes I don't. So for me to wake up with a congested nostril isn't, that big of a situation, because it happens, especially with sleeping with a fan in my face. Especially with sleeping with a fan in my face and the weather is cooling off, because it's just like double cold air, right? So she was like, maybe it's just allergies. And I was like, maybe you're right. But, still a part of me in the back of my head was like, maybe I should, go get COVID tested, right? So then after that, going into Tuesday night, my throat was still a little itchy, and I was still congested, but instead of it being on the same nostril it flipped over to the other nostril. And by this time I had started drinking me some ginger root tea, and then I started getting like a really, really bad headache. Because, like I said, I had started drinking some ginger root tea. I had went ahead and got me some Mucinex. So I had so much sinus pressure from that Mucinex that I had got a really, really bad headache, to the point that light itself was causing, it felt like a bad migraine. Like just being in the light, seeing light, it just made my head hurt. I just wanted to keep my eyes closed. That's how bad my head was hurting. So from there I'm still thinking like, okay, this isn't right. And my daughter, ended up coming to me and telling me about how her nose was running, and she felt a little congested as well, which that happens quite often. She's a kid and she has allergies just as bad as I do. So I'm like, okay, but, still in the back of my head, I'm like, man, I just feel a little leery, but then I have my mom and she's like, maybe you just, being a little paranoid because of COVID, and we've been out here, we been living normal lives and taking precautions, and we've been good so far. So I think that we've been doing a good job at it. And I'm like, you know what, yeah, you're right, we've been doing a good job. So from there, I wasn't trying to overthink things or whatever, but still in the back of my head, I'm like, okay, you know what? It could be, a slight cold, because the weather is changing, here in Texas. 1 minute it's cold, the next minute it's hot. And then I'm like, and then it could be from me sleeping with the fan in front of my face. Then it could be my allergies. But I don't feel like how people be looking, whenever they say they have COVID. So it's probably not COVID. And so, even in this case scenario, I wanted to, go out and hang out with my family and do certain things and everything, but I didn't get a chance to, thank the Lord, because my cousin did invite me to come over and hang out with them for New Year's, but it was raining out. A couple of years ago, I had a really, really bad accident in what I thought was rain, but it was actually freezing ice. The roads had started freezing over because it was below temperature. So I do not drive around December, January, and then February. If it's raining outside, I'm not the type of person, like I'll only drive if I have to drive. But other than that, I don't drive, because whenever I was in an accident, the car flipped a couple of times. So I don't play those games. No. So thankfully, I didn't get to, I didn't go, in order to link up with them, because those would have been other people that I would have infected. So literally from Christmas night up until, that time being, I was in the house. So I had been in the house the entire time. So one of my other family members who was there on Christmas Day, because to be honest, it was only 5 of us together. But my other family member, I guess, started feeling the same way that I started feeling on Monday. So he actually scheduled a doctor's appointment and ended up, finding out that, he was positive for COVID. So in that case scenario, of course, everybody's like, okay, we all need to get tested because something is off. And one person there had to already have it because everybody started developing, not everybody, but most of us started developing symptoms around the same time, which was that Monday. So he had tested positive on December the 31st. I went ahead and went and took a test. Mind you, during this time, I'm still taking my Mucinex. I'm taking Sudafed. I'm drinking ginger root tea, which I do have to thank my girl Tam for giving me the best recipe for ginger root tea that I feel like definitely, helped, because literally one day my throat was hurting, started drinking the ginger root tea, and the next day my throat was better, so I definitely, I could be wrong, but I definitely constituted to that tea that she gave me the recipe for. But yeah, so mind you, during this entire time I'm taking stuff in order to make sure that I'm good. The second of January, I ended up getting my results back saying that I had tested positive for COVID. And everyone else that had tested positive started feeling really, really bad. And I'm just so thankful that, I was able to get on top of it as soon as I felt a little leery about the way that my body was, because who knows, how things would have gone. I'm thankful for my immune system, because, a lot of people, I'm not one that's quick to go to the hospital. I'm not quick to go to the doctor. I will tough some things out. So, I rarely go. Last year I went a couple of times, but I am one that rarely goes. But other people around me, I had been seeing, they had lost their sense of taste and smell. I didn't miss a beat with my taste and smell. I acclaim myself as a foodie. I love food. I love flavors. I'm one that's very particular about textures. So that would have been something that I definitely would have noticed because I like to eat. And thankfully I didn't, have that. My whole thing was congestion, the scratchy throat, and the myalgia and the headache. I didn't get any fever. I checked my temperature every single day, and I did not have a fever, even though I felt hot. Whenever I checked my temperature, I didn't actually have a fever. But the point that I wanted to do with this video is, everyone impacts, or no, everyone feels these symptoms of COVID different. Everyone. There might be someone that don't have any symptoms at all. There might be someone that feels it full blown, and end up in a hospital, which prayers go out to those people. And then there might be people like myself who know your body. You know when something is off. So, from there you have to start taking precautions in order to fight it. But if I would have never actually went and got COVID tested, I could have actually passed COVID along to some of my loved ones and family members because I was feeling bad. And instead of me actually, taking on precautions in order to see what, my status was with COVID, I just be around them. Which I feel like is how it get passed around. I feel like it's how I got it in the first place, because there was somebody who did not feel 100%, or maybe they did. I really don't know, but I'm like, I feel like something gotta give, but they went around. One of my family members passed it to my family member, and then my family member was able to pass it along to the rest of us, and we all started to get sick as well. So, y'all need to watch yourself, because, I thought about the situation over and over again, and I would feel really crappy person to know that, I had been out there doing some extra stuff, and then I then caught something and then gave it to my family members, my loved ones, and freaking, I still feel like a crappy person, even though I'm not the one who passed it along. It still makes me feel bad to know that I've been taking so many precautions out in the public space, and then in my personal space is how I ended up getting, impacted. So, it does take a toll on you. I've been in the house since Christmas Day. I've been in the house. I had to take my daughter to, the doctor not too long ago. So other than that, that's the only time that I had been out the house, which I had to have on triple mask. I had to have on triple mask then, and we were still, in a hospital. They, had to quarantine us in the hospital because, of course, I let them know that, I had tested positive for COVID. But I've been in the house this entire time. So from the 25th of December to whatever today's date that I'm posting this video, I've been in the house. I'm supposed to go tomorrow to get another, COVID test, just to make sure, because I feel great. I feel really good. I look good too, but I just want to make sure and take the necessary steps. I did hear that with COVID, sometimes people still test positive for it weeks and months, which is very rare as far as the month, but weeks and months after they've had it. I'm hoping that I'm not one of those cases, because it definitely will be a factor on, who I'm around, or if I'm around anybody. Hell, freaking, to be honest, I'm going to factor that in general, because it's a lot. Like, to be honest, it takes a toll on you mentally and emotionally, being in a house 24/7. You can't go to the grocery store. I've had to do grocery delivery. Freaking, I forgot what outside looked like. Freaking, I opened the door to slide my groceries in, and that's it, So pretty much the point of this video, guys, is to just, tell you guys about my experience, tell you guys to go get COVID tested if you feel any type of way. Freaking be safe. Don't let your guard down, whether it is around family, friends, loved ones. Be safe, because just because you take extra precautions when you're out in public does not mean other people take extra precautions. And as soon as you let your guard down, it's an opportunity for you to get it. I don't fault anyone personally, even though I am a little frustrated, but I don't fault anyone because, anything could have happened to them as well. But we all need to just stay safe. Freaking stay clean, freaking sanitize, freaking wear your mask with your family, and live life. I don't want anybody to live in fear. I'm not afraid of COVID. I wasn't afraid of COVID whenever, I had found out about COVID. I live my life, but I try to live my life in a safe manner, not being around buku people or anything else like that. So don't be scared. I feel like it's something that you can most certainly control if you are in good health, and if you stay on top of it, and any type of teas and medicines that you take, I hate taking medicine. I would prefer to do everything in a natural way. But, with it, I was a little nervous because I don't know if I have any underlying health issues. I don't know, because sometimes things spring up onto you whenever you hit a certain age in life, So I did take some medicine in order to make sure that I didn't have any mucus buildup or anything like that. But, guys, be safe, be smart, freaking, no matter who you're around. If any of my friends and relatives see this and y'all like, ooh, we don't want to be around Quenisha for a minute, she seemed like a big old germ right now, I completely understand, and there is no love lost here at all. Freaking, I understand. But, I just hope you guys are safe. I hope you guys can probably find something in this video if there's been a part of you that's like, ooh, I'm a little, I feel a little, my throat feel a little, maybe I should go. I mean, they offering a testing for free. Freaking, you can do it in your nose. You can do it with your spit. If you got it, it's going to detect that you got it, So, y'all just be safe out here, peeps, Keep y'all heads up. Stay beautiful. Stay lovely. And freaking enjoy life.